Good morning! Happy July 3rd! Today we're going to have a really good day. Positive attitude, right? Anyway, we are gonna make waffles right now for breakfast. Sounds so stinking yummy. Hey boys, do you want these fries from last night? You know what? Nobody deserves these fries. Nobody. She's calling her neighbor man because she doesn't know his name. We told her his name was Mike and she goes, no. Okay, so we are going to meet my grandma for lunch right now. We're gonna go to Bob Evans, not anywhere super fancy, but it's one of her favorite places to eat. So we're going to go to Bob Evans and then we're going to go to the cemetery with her. And it's like a funny thing going to the cemetery because I know that he's not there, but like for some reason you feel closer to them when you're there. And I don't know why. I think it was because it was the last place that I saw him. I know that you guys might think that it's very silly that I'm this upset still after 15 years of my grandpa being gone, but the thing I think that bothers me the most is I was obviously very close to my grandpa, and also like if my grandpa was alive, he would still be young. Like that's the part that I think is just so hard for me to comprehend, is I just feel like it's very unfair that he died so young. Anyway, it's just really hard. And then around this time every year we have a cookout with our family like we did yesterday, and my grandpa had he had 2 brothers and a sister. He had 3 siblings, and his sister died when she was really young. She had a brain aneurysm and passed away very, very young. And then my Uncle Barry, which was his oldest brother, older brother, died at a pretty young age too. And then my Uncle Sam, who's the oldest brother, is actually still alive. And he's actually, you know, getting up there in age, but he looks just like my grandpa. And so when we're at family functions and stuff that he's there, it's really hard for me to like choke, you know, like I choke back tears because I just really wish that my grandpa was still alive. Honey, that wasn't Bob. The Jeep my dad bought, everybody has that Jeep right now. So London thinks that it's Bob, so she's yelling Bob, wait. I know that some of you think that it's very, very silly that I'm this upset about my grandpa still after 15 years, but he clearly was an amazing person that left a huge impact on my life. So I do rest in peace knowing that he had a close relationship with the Lord and a personal relationship with the Lord, and I know that he's in heaven. So and then his death was just so horrible because he suffered so badly. Like, you know, it was right when chemotherapy was like, you know, still being discovered, I feel like. And like, the meds weren't as great and stuff, and I know chemo does different things to everybody else, but he said that he, you know, would rather die than go through another chemo treatment. And I think that chemotherapy is actually like what took him, because I feel like he just was so weak and so like sick from chemo that he just gave up. And I don't know, it was just a really sad day, the day that he died, and you just remember those feelings that you felt on that day. And I was actually numb on that day, but I remember my grandma spent the night at our house that night, because my mom, you know, didn't want her to have to be at the house after my grandpa had passed away in the house. And she spent the night at our house, and I remember I gave her my bed to sleep in, and my dad goes, let's get everything out of the house that would remind your grandma of your grandpa. And I remember looking in the pantry, and I know that this is silly, but we threw away like the Orville Redenbacher popcorn because it had Orville on it, and that was my grandpa's name. And just like silly stuff like that, we got rid of just because we wanted to be respectful of my grandma in hopes that she could just come to our house and relax. And I know nothing would have made her, you know, feel better, because everything probably reminded her of my grandpa. So this is a pretty long story, and I'm sorry, but I'm just venting today because Mike has heard it so much from me and all that stuff. But I just remember I slept on the couch and my grandma slept in my bedroom, and I remember laying on the couch hearing my grandma just like, she was like moan crying. She was so sad. And my whole life my grandma has, you know, scratched my back until I fell asleep when I spent the night at her house. And I remember just walking in there and rubbing her back for a little bit just to try to be a comfort to her. And it was just really, you see the strong people in your life become weak when stuff like that happens. And it was just really sad for me. And I think about that day every time it comes around this year. And you know, it's supposed to be this happy time. Like, I mean, the 4th of July when I was a kid was just like the greatest time for me, because I mean, we got to, you know, go see fireworks and have cookouts with our families and, you know, all of that stuff. And also, like, you're like the proudest you ever are to become to be an American, because you just feel so patriotic. And now it's just this sad time, and I hate that it's turned into this, because I mean, and tomorrow is my other grandparents' wedding anniversary. So I mean, for years we've celebrated their anniversary, you know, on this weekend, and it used to just be such a great weekend. But anyway, I do have a story quick about the whole 3rd of July. We had a cookout a couple years after my grandpa died at my grandma's house. And Mike and I were dating. It was actually a few years after, because Mike and I met like 3 or 4 years after my grandpa died. But Mike and I decided to go down to the fireworks for the 4th of July. Obviously it was the 3rd in downtown Toledo. And I remember sitting at the fireworks while they were going off, and I looked over at Mike, and I remember thinking that I wanted to spend every holiday for the rest of my life with him. Like, that was the day that I realized that I loved Mike. So I did turn it into, you know, a great day in the sense that, you know, I have Mike now, and I realized that I loved him on that day, and just all of that stuff. So with all of that said, we are going to lunch with my grandma. I don't know if I'm going to tape anything at the cemetery, just because I just want to be respectful of my grandma and all of that stuff. But I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what was going on, and a little bit of a vent session, and also just a little bit of a history with why I'm so sad about my grandpa. So anyway, lunch should be interesting, and so should the cemetery. is actually at my mom and dad's right now, and she's just gonna hang out there a little bit till dinner. I think she was like bored today and just like kind of stir crazy. She was used to going, and I didn't really want to go anywhere and do anything, you know, after lunch and the cemetery. So my mom was like, I'll take her. So I was like, okay. So anyway, she is at my mom's, and Mike and I are making a little bit of food on the grill, and we're gonna eat some dinner and spend some time together before London comes home and goes to bed. So that's basically what's going on right now. I spent all of London's nap editing because last night I didn't feel like editing. I just wanted to go to bed. So I've been so tired lately, and I don't know why. And no, I'm not pregnant. But I've just been really, really tired. So anyway, that is all. So we're gonna eat some dinner, and yeah, yep. This is like a boring life. Boring, boring life.
This is my very own high table for the birds to feed from.
It's the kind of place the birds like to eat. Because it's a high up.
No, you don't need any more.
Now we need to find something for them to eat.
London, you don't need any more, baby. What?
Good night, baby. I love you. I love you. You're so beautiful. Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
You did know. How did you know? Good night. So London is in bed, and Mike and I are, we watched Sandlot earlier, and that was really fun, just because that movie reminds me of like being a kid in the summer and stuff, and it's just a really good movie. But London is home and back in bed, and Mike and I are going to just hang out and enjoy the last couple hours of our Sunday evening. And if you can hear Hogan, he's freaking out because there's fireworks outside. So anyway, we love you guys, and we will see you in our next vlog. Bye.
We fight till we fall on the way. We don't care if we lose it all. We build our castle of sand till the waves come and wipe it all. Battling in oceans of tears, but the love is still in the